Happy Wednesday, everyone. It's going to be a good gymnastics day. So think of this as a strength day. So don't attack this. Bring focus, bring some attention to detail, and definitely take some time. So what we got, you guys? We got a plank lean at 10 alternating reps with 2-second holds per side. Forearm plank hold, 20 seconds. Plank to bear squat for 3 to 5 reps. Prone shoulder raise for 6. Laying arm extension for 3 at 3-second holds. Prone shoulder raise for 6. And then humeral glide to knee push up for 3 to 5. We'll do that 2 to 3 rounds. Then we're going to move into our swimmer stretch for 3 reps. Slow. Deadbug for 6 to 10 alternating. Laying shoulder flexion for 3 to 5 at a 2 to 3 round work set. From there, we're going to go into our kind of main focused work set. Our main focus today is 8 rounds of 20 seconds of push-ups for max reps, but quality reps. So take your time, stop and rest if you feel your form breaking. Then you're going to take down a 10-second rest and then move into 20 seconds of hollow rocks. And I'll show you some different options for the hollow rock, and then 10 seconds rest. You're going to take that down 8 rounds. It's going to burn, it's going to be tough, but it's going to be a fun little work set. After that, we just have some upper body kind of love work here, so a little bit of shoulder love. It's going to burn as well, but it'll feel really nice after all those push-ups. So we have an I.W.Ys for 5, empty-handed or with a light load. Overhead, good morning for 5, empty-handed, and then a hinged internal, external for 5 reps, and I'll walk you through that. That's also unloaded as well. You'll do that for 2 rounds, move into your cool down, call it a day. Let's get you ready, fired up, and walk through these exercises so we can have some fun today. All right, you guys, let's rock and roll. Let's get you guys set up. Feet under those hips. We'll take the arms big and tall up overhead. You're just going to shrug those shoulders up overhead, keeping those arms straight, and then find your neck again. Going to shrug them again, and then find those shoulders, and then one more time, shrug, and then find those shoulders. Scratch your back, and reach through the elbow. Come back up, big stretch. Scratch your back, reach through the elbow. Good, big stretch. And then forward fold all the way down to the floor. Touch those toes. We'll walk up the shins. We'll come down, framing the foot. We'll step that foot back into your nice lizard. Inside hand's going to reach all the way up. Bending at the elbow, we're going to reach straight ahead. And we're going to pull back. Straight ahead. And pull back. Straight ahead. And pull back. Big reach up. And rotate, forearm to the floor. We'll come all the way back up overhead. Plant the hand, step back into our down dog. Setting those shoulders good and strong, nice and open through the upper back. We'll come back into our plank. We'll step the other foot up. Inside hand is going to reach way up to the sky. Bend at the elbow. We'll reach, pull back, reach, pull back, and reach, and pull back. Big stretch up. Rotate, forearm to the floor. We'll come back up. Plant the hand. And step back into our down dog, reaching those hips, setting those shoulders, come back into our plank, and tiptoe those feet all the way up, and roll ourselves up, big stretch, little reach, nice, come on down with those hands, let's get you fired up. Now, if there's anything specific you'd like to work on your own, like a little gentle warm-up, please do so. I would suggest maybe if you want a little extra wrist, maybe some cat-cows, thread the needles, anything along those lines. Pause the video, take that down. If you're ready to come along, I'm going to walk you through that first phase of warm-up. All right, we're going to kickstart off our first phase of warm-up with some plank leans and a little bit of planking action. So I'm going to get into my plank. Actually, I'm going to face you guys for this one so you guys can see my shoulder position. So my hands are under my shoulders. I'm going to press them up, pull the ribs in, and I'm going to establish that strong plank position first. Then from here, I'm going to pull myself over with my shoulders and upper body, keeping my shoulders over my hands. My body and hips come along with my shoulders. So I'm not initiating through that midsection. I'm initiating my leans through my arms and shoulders. So I want to make sure that I'm pressing up the entire time into that active shoulder position and getting that good protraction through that upper back. Now, we're going to have a 2-second hold per side, so we really have to listen to our body position and how far over we go seconds can be a long time. So take your time, work that full 2 seconds, only go as far over as you feel comfortable and still maintain that good position. Now after that, we move into our forearm plank. I'm going to turn profile for you guys in this one. I'm going to bring my forearms down to the floor, elbow under the shoulder, pressing into the ground. We're going to step our feet back into our plank, and we're going to maintain that good strong plank position. So I'm pushing through those shoulders, those forearms, I'm pulling my ribs in, and then I'm going to lower my knees if I need to, and hold that knee forearm plank as well. So if you want to start in the knees, that's fine. Or if you want to start in that toe position, and then as you're holding, if you have to drop down to maintain that tension, drop down before resting. Because I can tell you, the only thing lowering your knees does is takes a little bit of pressure off the shoulders. Your core is going to be lit up regardless of knees or toes. So keep that time under tension going. If you can only go 10 seconds on your toes, go 10 seconds on your toes, lower the knees, maintain the hollow, and ride out the rest on the knees for the next 10 seconds. So have some fun with that one. Build that time under tension for that 20-second forearm plank. After that, we're going to move into the plank to bear squats. We're going to wake up the shoulders a little bit more. If you'd like to do a little bit more down dog action first, you're more than welcome to. But with the plank to bear squat, we're going to get ourselves set up in our good, strong plank. My feet are going to be about hip to shoulder width apart. Pressing through the shoulders, bring those ribs in. And I'm going to pull my hips straight back, keeping my palms pressing down into the floor. So equal weight between pinky and thumb. So I'm going to get set up, nice and tight, pulling back, active through those arms. So my armpits are pointing down towards the floor. I have a neck the entire time. So I'm really working on that position that we like to work on in our down dog, stabilizing through the lat, through those arms, nice and strong. Only go as far back as you feel comfortable in terms of being stable through the shoulders. So you don't have to go all the way hips to ankles. If you have the range and the stability in the shoulder, go for it. If not, no worries. All right, just take it to that end range that you feel comfortable and then come back out. From there, we're going to lay on our stomach for the next 4 exercises. So we're going to lay on our belly. Arms are going to be out long to the front. Palms pressing into the floor. But I'm going to start with my toes. So my toes are together and pressing down. I squeeze my glutes and pull my ribs in. Press my armpits down, press my palms down, and I establish that tension first. From here, I lift my arm up, hold for a couple seconds, come back down, establish that good position again, and then lift and hold, and then lower. And then I'll go back and forth in that position for 6 reps. We're going to revisit this after our next exercise. So the big thing here, you guys, is if you need to do a couple reps, then reset the tension, reset the tension. The body position is more important than how high we get the shoulder or how many reps we get in a row. So I want you to make sure that we're focusing on that good pulled rib position, the tension through the arms, and that nice solid hollow. From here, we're going to pull our hands to the side with the palms up. Our shoulders are going to be pulled back like a humeral glide. We're going to pull the ribs and hips into that hollow, and then we're going to press our palms up to the ceiling. And we're going to hold that tension through the ribs, hold that pressure up with the hands for 3 seconds, and then lower down. The key is that we're not dumping our shoulders forward. We're keeping them back, ribs and hips pulled in. We press and hold the shoulders back as we lift those hands, and we're always kind of pressing up into the sky with those arms for that 3-second hold. We're not just getting them there and just sort of holding them there. I want you to imagine that something's pressing down into your hands and you're pressing into it. If you have some light weight at home, like really light, like 2.5, maybe 5 pounds, depending on how comfortable you are with that for your shoulder, you can use these and load them, but we want to make sure we keep the loading very light. For most people, 1 to 3, maybe 5 pounds is going to be plenty of weight. After our laying arm extension, we're going to go back to our prone shoulder raise for 6 reps, and then we're going to move into the humeral glide. So we're going to work on a few humeral glide to knee push-ups to gear ourselves up for what's to come. So our hands are going to be just outside the shoulders by the chest. Wrist is stacked under the elbow. I'm going to pull my shoulders forward to where I don't want them. Then I'm going to pull them back to where I do. I'm going to pull my ribs and hips in, pressing that good position, and then I'm maintaining that tension. I'm going to come forward and down, leading with the chest, and then relaxing. Shoulders forward, shoulders back, ribs and hips. Press into that nice plank or that knee plank, and then again with that control, guiding myself down into that nice tripod. Now if you struggle with the press, maintaining that midsection, remember we can press to that isometric hold as we just get to where we feel comfortable and where we can maintain that good rib position. That might be 1 inch, 2 inches, might be completely on the floor. But you're gonna really work to maintain that good pressure through the core and that pressure through the arms and the lats. Quick little recap on that bad boy. We have plank lean for 10 alternating reps, 2-second holds per side, forearm plank for 20 seconds, knees or toes, or both, plank to bear squat for 3 to 5, or down dog, depending on what you feel comfortable with, prone shoulder raise for 6 alternating reps, laying arm extension for 3 at 3-second holds, prone shoulder raise again for 6 alternating, humeral glide to knee push-up for 3 to 5, 2 to 3 rounds. That is a ton of work, you guys, so I want you to make sure that you're taking your time to work through those phases, work on those key positions, because it's going to generate a lot of skill and strength in those shoulders and that core. Pause the video, take that down, come on and join me for our next phase. It's a nice little triplet before we get to our work set. So, from here, we're going to lay back on the floor and we're going to work on some swimmer stretch. And the swimmer stretch is tough. It is a tough, tough movement. I'm going to show you one variation today where we're working with our arms. So, first things first, I'm going to turn my back. I'm going to pretend like I'm laying on my side. So, what we're going to do today with this movement is I'm going to lift my arms and take my arms all the way around, palms face up. Once I get to my laying arm extension position, I'm going to pull one hand back to my back, and then I'm going to come back out to that arm extension, other arm, and come back, and then come all the way back to the front. So that would be 1 rep. So for today, this first stage of the swimmer stretch, we're just going to do 1 arm at a time. And depending on how tight you are in your shoulders, you may not be able to get that arm onto your low back. You're just going to take it to where you can and where you feel comfortable, and then take it back out. So I'm going to show you on the floor. These are tough for me on the right side. So I'm going to get myself set up in that nice long position. Toes together. I'm going to get nice and tight and set through the ribs. I'm going to lift the arms. I'm going to take the arms around, palms rotating up into that nice extended position. Then you're going to take one arm back behind, extend, other arm back behind, extend, and then take those arms all the way back to the front, lower down, rest for a moment, and then regain that tension. So the only other thing we have to really talk about is that tension through the ribs and the hips. We're maintaining that same position that we were in for the ribs and hips, for the laying arm extension, and for our prone shoulder raises. So the position is the same through the core. The only difference is we're starting out here, we lift the arms, take them around, palms face up, hand comes back, remove, hand comes back, remove, come around, palms face down, and down. The whole time, staying tight through here in that little hollow. Very challenging movement, so be gentle with yourselves on this one, you guys. It is tough, it is hard, and it takes a lot out of you, so make sure that you rest in between reps. We're only doing 3, and we want to go nice and slow. From there, we're going to flip onto our back. We're going to work on our dead bugs. So again, we're going to work on that core engagement. I'm going to get set up like I'm going to do a bridge. I'm going to pull my ribs and hips in so my contact with the floor is there. I'm going to lift my feet up, so I'm at a 90-90. Hands are set here. I'm going to extend one arm, one leg, nice long reach, and then I'm going to come back in. And I'm going to switch sides, reaching as far as I feel comfortable, coming back in. I'm going to give myself a little pause every rep. So I want to make sure that I'm pausing briefly. at the top of every rep so that I'm not starting to kind of just flop around on the floor. So take your time, have some fun with it, work that tempo. Take your time, extend, time under tension can build a lot of strength and a lot of control through the core. Our last exercise on this phase right here is our laying shoulder flexion. So we're going to come back to our feet on the floor. My ribs and hips pull in. I'm going to reach my fingers towards my heels and then slowly take my arms up and over to end range. And end range is wherever I can maintain straight arms, might be the floor, might not be the floor, and my low back in contact with the ground. And this is going to be nice and slow, reaching, active, keeping that low back in contact, keeping those arms straight, and easing back and forth through that motion. So we're not trying to go fast, we're trying to maintain our position through our core and work that nice full range of motion that we have. Quick little recap, we have a swimmer stretch for 3, dead bug 6 to 10 alternating, laying shoulder flexion for 3 to 5, 2 to 3 rounds. Take that down, that's going to get your body really warm, ready for what's to come. All right, the moment you've all been waiting for, our work set. Whew, the whole day is a work set, but this is our actual kind of intensity piece. All right, what we have is 20 seconds worth of push-ups for quality, rest 10, hollow rock for 20 seconds, rest 10. Our push-ups again today can be whatever variation of push-ups you would like, countertop, ottoman, chair, whatever you have at home ready to go. You can even do a dumbbell floor press if you like, instead of the push-up. I'm fine with that as well, because we're working those same pieces. Now, if you're going from the floor, I'm going to show you a couple variations we have with a floor push-up. We get established in our good plank first. Hands are just outside the shoulders. I pull the ribs and hips, press the shoulders up. I'm going to lower forward and down, touching my chest, pressing myself back up to that nice strong plank position. I come forward and down, elbows stay slightly out at that 45, and they stay over top of my wrist. So that's that nice toe push-up. Again, we're working for quality, not necessarily high number of reps, but we're going to get a nice chunk of good quality push-up work in that 20 seconds. Now the other variation, we start from the plank, then we lower to our knees for the push. So we want to make sure we're establishing that good hollow plank from the top, and we're maintaining that as we lower forward and down, not losing tension as I lower to my knees and come back to my toes. So I maintain the position, knees, toes, finish the rep. So I'm not rushing that and pausing in between each phase of that so I could work on those good positions and maintain that hollow. Last but not least, we have our knee push-up, but we're still going to start from our tall plank, pulling the knees down so we have our hollow. My elbows stay nice and solid over my wrist, and they stay at a nice 45 degree with my body. So I want to create that nice 45 with the armpit, creating a little arrow shape if you were looking at me from a bird's eye view. So multiple variations of push-ups. We have 20 seconds. Do what you can. You need to rest after a couple. You have a full 20 seconds to get what you can. After that, we're going to work on what's called the hollow rock, and this is pretty tough. It's a kind of a cool little exercise. I'm going to show you full on, and then going to show you a nice option that you can play with. So working from that long hollow, I'm going to pull myself in, ribs and hips pull in, I find my hollow, and then going to rock. Maintaining that hollow the whole time. My feet don't touch the floor. I'm just rocking up onto my shoulders and working on that nice, smooth rock. Now, if you feel a little clunk, it's because you're disengaging through your midsection and you're losing that hollow. If you struggle with that, what we can work on is keeping a foot down. I pull into my hollow, and then I work on using that bent leg as a little assister. So this leg is going to help maintain that hollow. It's also going to help generate that little bit of a rock back and forth. The key thing is we have to maintain tremendous amount of tension through our midsection. So if you feel yourself starting to lose that, or you're starting to swing your arms around, all right, we want to make sure we stop, rest, and continue. We maintain this shoulder position the whole time. We're not moving our arms back and forth. It's move with my torso. If you're looking at that going, yeah, Dave, not today, hold a hollow at whatever style of hollow hold you want to hold. Foot assist, no foot assist, whatever you want to do, hold that hollow position for a solid 20 seconds or accumulate what you can in that time. It's going to help build that strength, build that position, and help open up those shoulders. So again, 8 rounds, 20 seconds of push-ups for quality, rest 10, 20 seconds of hollow rock or a hollow hold, rest 10, repeat 8 rounds. It's gonna get spicy, it's gonna get hard. Don't worry if those push-ups reps start to decline in number, because again, we're after quality, not necessarily high numbers. Take it down, have fun with this for you guys, it's tough. I'm gonna come back actually at the end here with a little bit of shoulder work and love to close out the day. All right, we're feeling a little jacked up in the shoulders right now, and the arms probably. That's totally normal. We have a couple exercises just to kind of work on opening up those shoulders. Probably going to generate some heat as well. That's going to move them through a nice full range of motion. Now, we're going to tackle the I.W.Ys and Ys. I'm going to show you from the front first. I'm going to get myself set up in this nice kind of hip width, shoulder width stance. I'm going to pull my hips back into that nice hinge. My hands are going to be straight down. I'm going to move into the I, and I'm going to lift my arms straight up as far as I can. Then the W, I'm going to pull up so I frame my head, come back down, and then the Y out on the angle, thumbs up, and then back down. So the I go straight up, W, pull back, Y, nice Y position. The key thing here is we're focusing on that good hinge, and we're maintaining that good back position the entire time for all those reps. After that, we have an overhead good morning. We did this the other day in our warm-up. Our feet are going to stay in that squat stance. I'm going to take my arms into that good overhead position, squeezing my glutes, pulling my hips back, keeping the arms up into that overhead, and then standing tall. So we execute that nice hinge while still maintaining a strong overhead position. That is completely unloaded, working on opening up the shoulders. It's going to be hard after all that work we did today, but it's going to help open up those shoulders just a little bit more. Last but not least, we have the hinged internal external rotation. And this is kind of a cool one. It's kind of coming back into that same position we were at for our I.W.Ys and Ys. Palms are facing the body. We're going to pull the elbows straight up, and then we're going to open and close. Open and close. So from the front, I come here, pull the elbows back to 90 with the shoulder, open straight up, close. Open and close. Nice and slow. We're not just pull back with intention to end range, come back. Keeping the shoulders away from the neck so we're not shrugging up. We're just pulling back and then opening and keeping that shoulder down and stable. 5 reps of each of those 2 times. Take that down as a nice lead into your cool down. It's going to be a beautiful way to finish off those shoulders and get some nice movement in there after all those push-ups and hollows. I hope you enjoyed today's gymnastics day. It's a lot of work today, you guys. I hope you enjoy it. But as always, take the time to work for quality. Have some fun with this one. It's a different take on some strength and flexibility work, so I hope you enjoy it. Let me know how it goes, and we'll see you tomorrow for a nice, fun gasser. It's going to be a good time. Bye, you guys.